Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to give you an update on the bots that have been running all day. You can see the update. I'm trying to get this little stopwatch thing on the computer so I know how long this video is so it doesn't go too long. You can see the update. You can see the arbitrage. You can see, okay, if you haven't watched the other videos and you want to check them out, great. If not, I opened a long and a short 5x $100 position Luna futures trading bot on KuCoin, the grid style, and here's what's happened. And yeah, maybe it's a good day and maybe things are just kind of working, but I'm not really attracted to what I'm seeing, which if we keep the math simple with both of them combined, we're looking at about $20. 20 over 200 is 10%. Who wouldn't be happy with 10% on their money? I understand there's some risk. Somebody commented on that. Like everything about crypto and investing has some risk element to it. Crypto in general is a risk. Hell, spot trading is risky. Futures trading, margin trading. Hell, I got in a spot trade with Luna before it crashed a few weeks ago and bought it like $25. Literally because I figured I'd get squirrely and want to get in on the action and use future trading, but I knew it was dropping so hard and going up and down that I'd probably get liquidated, and I just didn't want to be a degenerate. So instead I just bought in at $25 thinking, like, zoomed out, how rare would it be? I suppose Ethereum or Bitcoin would have been a better choice. If you buy something one night, the next day it's usually not like completely down 99%. Okay, so I understand that there's risk involved here. I ended up buying more on the way down at the very bottom and it made up for it. That's not what this is about. What this is about is me explaining that I want to create something or put together pieces of other things people have created and make it work for me. So what interests me might not interest you. What interests me is not that there's 10% on the table right now, and if it would have been $1,000 in each account, it would have been $200. $200 a day, not bad. If you're trading with $10,000 and 10%, that's $1,000 a day. Not a day. I'm not saying you can do it every day, but I'm saying it's a pretty good damn day. But I'm not interested in the profits here. This was a test for me to visualize what I want to do. What do I want to do? Okay, so when I started this like 7-8 hours ago, and let me go through these screenshots and then I'll try to make this as quick as I can. I opened up a long and a short at the same time, if you're wondering, because I wanted to be able to use a bot that knew whether to long or short based on if-then statements. And I haven't found it yet. I'm sure it does exist. Maybe it's one of those scams where you got to pay like $3,000 to get somebody's bot, and then it turns out it's just some bullshit bot, and then they want to do it for you, and you send them your crypto. Like I had a client in another business that got scammed pretty hard on a crypto bot. So to me, this is kind of a dark area of crypto, and I don't want to be a part of that. That's why I'm trying to do something internally on my own. I know who's involved. It's not some like, hey, I'm going to pay this and have somebody. No, that's not what I'm talking about. But anyway, I opened a long and short at the same time because I figured, well, if I can't have a bot that knows how to do both, what if I just open a long and a short and one of them's got to be right? And the idea is that at the end of the day, the one that's right can pay the bill of the one that's wrong, hopefully, and then you still net out a positive gain. So that was what the whole idea was. And you can see the long's always on top, the short's on the bottom. You see look at that, down $18, up 14. So now I'm -4. Now I'm +2. Now I'm even. Now I'm up 6. Now I'm up 6. Now I'm up 10. Now I'm up 9. Now I'm up 7. So what I want you to focus on is the numbers keep changing. The numbers were high on the long for most of the day, and now it's actually getting to a point where it's reversing. The short is barely profitable because it was going up, and now it's starting to go down. So if I get in on something like 30 seconds and I can go back throughout the day, I'm not interested in these huge moves like I used to be. In this case, I'm interested in boom, 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 boom. So this is just an example. It's not the exact move, but let's say there's $100 in the bot, and it's a long bot, and we're here, and it goes up 5%. So now there's $105 or plus $5. What I want is to create something, and I'm not saying like custom, I'm saying like use something like 3 commas or a combination of things. I have these ideas that go back a long time, not just with this crypto, but like when I want something to exist, first I look to see if it exists. If it exists and I can use it, I don't have to build it. It's much cheaper. It's much easier on the mind. But if you want something and it doesn't exist and you want to see it through, you make it. And I've got kind of a background in that with some software and apps and things. So this isn't completely new to me. But anyway, so let's say it goes up 5% and here's $5 here. So right now, let's see if we can look at the trading bots. Just imagine that. Okay, so like imagine this top one was $5. I don't want the $5 to stay in there because it's always trading with your entire principal. I don't want my $5 up here to stay. I want it to immediately be limited out, like 3 attempts to limit, and if we can't limit, we mark it. So maybe if there's $5 and we can't limit out, maybe we still clear a few dollars, which would be 1 or 2% on a market order. So we're at 100, now we're at 105, we limit out, maybe we net 4. So now if it goes down, great. Maybe the short bot will take advantage and grab us some money. But when we come back here and we go up again, now we go from 100 to $5 or 105 again. So there's another $5 to take off the table. Maybe we net 4. Now we've netted 8. So what that means in the course of, and I'm not saying it'll take 10 minutes or 2 hours, whatever it is, every time a favorable move based on the conditions I set, we're going to pull X amount of dollars off the table that transfers into another account, another wallet. Like in KuCoin, it would just transfer over somewhere else. And that's it. That's the idea. So instead of at the end of the day, I see there's $3 on the long account, I guarantee, just based on these screenshots, that there's been at least 20 or $25, which would be 20 to 25% here and there. So like, let's say it's $7 and it goes up and now it's like 11. Well, that 11 will eventually go away. So what I'm saying is it doesn't accumulate. It just continues to work. So now it's down to 6. So from 6 to, let's just round that up to 11. That means that $5 was never realized. And it'll never be realized because these bots on exchanges are not meant for us to make money. They're meant for the exchanges to make money. Sure, it's kind of cool to say they have a bot, but it's just not practical. That's why it's a test. So if I hit the off button, it's going to market me out of this. So I'll be lucky to actually even break even. If I market out of this one, I might clear like $5-6. Once in a while, you really will. Bird just flew into the window. Jesus. You really will get what they say your profits are, but that's only if like you mark it out and you're in a long and you mark it out and the price stays the same or it goes up a little bit. If you're marketing out of a long right here and it goes down just a tad, it's going to grab sometimes the lowest wick price. And I'm sure this is common knowledge, but you might not think about it. You mark it out here, they could exit you, but based on the order book, they could also market you out here. And that difference in between here and here is completely legal because they're on the order book, but they're going to keep the difference. And that's why market orders suck. But sometimes you need to market in and out of things if it's very volatile. So I hope some of this makes sense. I'd love some feedback on it. I'm not looking for validation. I'm going to go ahead and continue to test and build. I've never looked for any of that. I'm just kind of trying to see if anybody has any experience with this, because if it's something interesting, it sure as hell shouldn't be something widespread. Like right now, if you could go to KuCoin and set all this up, or even a third-party software like 3 comma, or 3 commas, I don't know if it has an S on the end. I'm going to look into it, but I hope it's a little harder than that. Like I hope it's 3 comma talking to KuCoin with like a separate like thing, and then in time maybe you pair it with an indicator that understands the best pairs to be using. I mean, there's a lot here. I know this might, shit, if you watched this long into the video, you better be interested, because if not, you wasted your time. But that's kind of stuff that's kind of in my head lately, and I'll continue to keep you updated. So this in general is kind of cool. I mean, yeah, there's 10% on the table right now, but 10% on the table at the end of the day or after a few days is not as interesting in pulling 2 or 3% every 10 minutes or every hour. I mean, if you get 10% at the end of the day, great, but you have to weigh your risk and your reward. And I believe, like a comment said that I did another video on, you start putting, thousands of dollars in these things. Yeah, if it spikes on your long or on your short, you could get liquidated. So this needs to be set up with a pair that tends to not have too much volatility, that your leverage won't subject you to getting liquidated. And I know nothing's for sure, but like, for example, if something historically doesn't move over like 9% unless the market crashes in a day, 5x leverage, depending on some of the details, might give you 17-18% before you get liquidated. So you could be super conservative and do like 3x leverage and have like, I don't know, I'm just guessing, like 25% move. And the worst a pair has moved has been 5%. So you have another 4 moves of 5%, 5% blocks before you're getting liquidated. So you're trying to manage risk. You're not trying to eliminate risk. If there's not any risk, there's not any reward.